The only thing I'm disappointed about is where's the Weg? Where's the Weghorst? I'm so disappointed.
Burnley needs him.
Welcome to the latest episode of Yahoo Footballing Weekly with me, Yahoo columnist Neil Humphreys.
And me, Yahoo editor Chia and Keong. And for the first time, we have former Singapore Premier League player, podcaster, coach, educator, Shasi Kumar.
Hi, good to be here.
Good. You missed out the most important part there.
Did I?
Shasi is also a former co-colleague of mine on Sing Tell Me Our Football Show.
Just a little
tidbit for our older viewers there. We have some older viewers, loyal older viewers. And we have many new viewers as we bring you a new podcast this season, brought to you by our friends up there on the board, Star Hub. And as always, as we love you so much, new special offer.
Yeah, if you are part of the pioneer generation, which means you are 16 years old when you are in 1965.
That's me then.
Yeah, that's not us. But okay, StarHub has a promotion for you if you are part of the pioneer generation. You can watch all the Premier League games live. Half price of the normal package.
Really?
So Premier Plus package used to be $25.22. It's just now $12.61.
There you go, Pioneer Generation. Okay. $12.61.
So you visit a StarHub shop to sign up.
Brilliant. And then you can watch the brand new English Premier League season, which is what we're here to talk about.
Starting Saturday.
Today, it's back. We've had the Community Shield. Time for the real thing.
Congratulations, Arsenal fan.
He's an Arsenal fan. We'll get it out of the way. All right, let's start with the treble winners. Manchester City go down the line. What do you think, Keong, this season?
I think they might struggle. I mean, first thing, after a treble season, treble season always takes a lot out of you. You have played so many games. You really need some reinforcement. I don't think they've actually lost key players like Riyad Mahrez, Ilkay Gundogan.
Yeah.
Those two, they serve. I know they are not the best midfielders in that team, but they serve as very capable second options to Kevin De Bruyne and Jack Grealish.
Oh, I think you're selling Gundogan short. I think he was one of their most important players last season.
In the run-in, yes, definitely. So, if for all you think Kevin De Bruyne is already still not fully fit yet.
Not fully fit.
And if he suffers any major setbacks during the season, who's going to be the one providing all the ammo for Haaland? So, I don't know. I think they might struggle, do they?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Listen, I think Man City are like a machine. They are just like a machine. They've got a machine manager in Pep Guardiola as well. He knows how to rile his team up. His man management is top notch. And even in the Charity Shield, you see in during the game itself, they were in possession of the game most of the time. Arsenal tried to play on the break and caught them, right at the end. But they still got the players. They've got the know-how. They've got they've been there, done that. And we talk about players leaving. Yeah, I think you're right. Mahrez has been absolutely brilliant. Gundogan, another player. He was almost the player who won them the league last year. The last part of the season. But in Josko Guardiola, the player that they've got in from Leipzig, I think he is a brilliant defender, centre back. He's only 22 or something like that. He was great in the World Cup for Croatia. So they'll be thereabouts.
I think Kovacic is a smart signing. 25 million, I think it was.
That's a good signing.
That's a smart, astute signing from Guardiola. He'll play the game that Guardiola wants him to play. He'll slot in there seamlessly. I kind of agree with both of you in the sense that, yes, they've got enough. We know that. They've got the strength in depth. But the losses are key. Gundogan, as you said, massive towards the end of last season. It's about Grealish and Foden. Foden in particular. I love Foden. I've been trumpeting his cause for years. I thought he was going to be the man of his generation. Still can be. But when he burst onto the scene, we forget now that he was being talked about in the same bracket as Gascoigne and Hoddle and Paul Scholes. Good, that's a good comparison. A real kind of game turner. And it hasn't quite happened in the last year and a bit. He's still great. I mean, it's all relative. I mean, he's part of a treble winning squad. But with Gundogan gone, with Mahrez gone, a couple of creative players gone, This needs to be Foden's season.
He has to step up.
Added to Grealish. I like Grealish. I think he's great. I love his character. We need more players like Grealish in the game. But I still think there's a case to be made that he isn't quite dominating games in the way he did with Villa. Different position, different role. Shasi, I get that. He's a cog now. He's not the sort of token playmaker that he was at Villa. But he needs to go that little step further.
I agree with you on Foden. I think this could be his year only if he plays consistently, because he's not. I think that's the only problem that he is facing in this Man City side, and even in the Charity Shield, he came on and he was great when he came on, right? So he needs to play consistently, but that's Pat's call anyway. We can't do anything about that. So, Foden is one of the best English players at this moment, and Grealish, you're right as well.
Yeah.
I think he needs to dominate games more often. He needs to play for the full 90 minutes, as in play 90 minutes, not play in spurts, a good 15 minutes here, another 15 minutes there, because on his day, he's a brilliant winger.
I agree. What does Pep know anyway? What does Guardiola know that we don't know? Yahoo Footballing Weekly, that's where it's at. All right, let's move on to his mob now. Get him out of the way. Arsenal. Could this be Arsenal's title-winning year?
It could be, but I still think, in a way, they're a little bit short. I got to put a wet blanket over our chances here. Declan Rice, I think he is a very good acquisition from your West Ham, but I don't know about the price. It's not his fault anyway, right? So he's come in there. I think last season they lacked squad depth. It is as simple as that. And I remember that game against Man City in the later stages of that season when Man City had Mahrez on the bench. I don't know who else was on the bench, Bernardo Silva, and they came on in the second half. And Arsenal, no disrespect to Nketiah and all these players, they came on and couldn't make a difference. So the squad depth, that's the problem for Arsenal last season. And as for me right now, for Arsenal, I think they lack a goal scorer who's going to score 20, 25
I agree,
goals.
that's key. But where I do disagree, right, I think the £105 million for Declan Rice will be seen as a bargain. Yeah. I think he's an astonishing footballer. I did watch a lot of West Ham last season because I am a masochist, and they were crap. I don't think you can underestimate A, how bad West Ham were, and B, how good Declan Rice was to even get them anywhere near where they ended up. They are a relegation team. Without him, they wouldn't have won the European
Conference League.
That's the one. I forgot his name. Without him, right? This is where you may think I'm crazy. I think Declan Rice will not only be one of the signings of the season, he reminds me of Haaland at Manchester City in the sense that Haaland was signed for one specific thing, to win them the Champions League, to give them that little edge, those chances to go either way, he puts them away. Declan Rice has been signed for one specific thing, to your point, to win those close, tight games against top four opponents that they couldn't last year. There's no point turning it on against the lesser lights. There's a. I'm sure you've seen it. There's a thing on social media that's gone viral, a meme of Declan Rice running 50 yards back in a Community Shield, dispossession Manchester City, launching an attack for Arsenal. That's why he's been signed for. Yeah. That's the difference I think he can make. And I do think they can win the title with Declan Rice.
I go back to the time when Liverpool won the league. That's just
he
a few
always
years
does
ago.
that. Every segue returns to Liverpool. Everyone.
But that's where I can relate to all these instances, because I remember that before the season which Liverpool won the league, we came second to Manchester City, just a point difference. And then then they won it. So we ran them close, just as Arsenal ran them close last season. And there are two ways which they can the team can react. And one of them is, the next season they like trying to be on a mission and try to really prove them get it done the next season. Which is what Liverpool did. They got some good signings, obviously, Alisson and Virgil van Dijk then. And I can see some parallels between, signing Declan Rice. Kai Havertz, is a bit of a wild card.
Yeah. He is the human question mark. As I called him in my column, the human question mark.
And the left back Timber, I think, was probably also a good acquisition.
Good signing.
So I think last season, Arsenal showed that, they can push it all the way until maybe 80% of the season before they fell apart. I think this time they will run Man City even closer. I'm pretty sure about that. And if everything goes right, they could just
Yeah, I think you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
Not a little bit. You need luck. In a season of 38 games, you need luck.
Saliba got injured. It changed their season.
And you need luck at the end of the season. And in Arteta as well, he's got this almost demonic obsession. He's just like a mini Pep Guardiola in a way. The way he does things and his antiques in the dressing room. You can see it from All or Nothing. So they've got that. So it's just that push, that final push, and consistency. It's not easy. Not only in the EPL, in any leagues that you go to. When you win a league, you deserve to win the league.
Yeah, for sure.
And you need that consistency, and that's where I think Arsenal need to do well, stay free from injuries, consistent performances from all their top players, and good luck to them.
But the most important thing is we have a title race. That I said in my column, available on all Yahoo platforms. I said in my column, this year, without a shadow of a doubt, we have a good title fight. I think it'll go all the way, barring Shasi's point, injury crisis and whatnot. It should go all the way.
And even not just Arsenal, I think the other two top teams in the league, Man U, Liverpool.
Yeah, you don't think I didn't see what he did there. You see what he did there? That was his way of slipping Liverpool back into the conversation. I know what he does. I've been doing this for a year.
Yes.
Go on then, Liverpool. Get him out of the way.
Okay. We get on the Man U now. Okay.
We'll do Man U next. Because they're going to finish above Liverpool.
So Liverpool, I think they started the off-season with great acquisitions. Alex McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai. And then there was a curveball being thrown at them, and they still haven't addressed that problem yet. There's the departures of Jordan Henderson and Fabinho.
Others as well. I mean, Milner, Keita, which are not as important as Fabinho, but it just shows the lack of depth.
So Roberto Fabinho
as well.
Also, But I think I see in Gakpo a bit of Fabinho, but we'll see. He's still a bit young though. So, but you really need to address the defensive midfielder problem. We are lacking in that. And we got on and off this transfer saga with Southampton, Romeo Lavia. It's already three transfer bids. I don't know whether the third one has been rejected again. So so fans are a bit touchy over this because they know that that's an important position that needs to be filled. The defense is still a bit flimsy rather than the title-winning year. But the offense, I think, in front, I think we have quite a strong slate of forwards. So I think top 4 is a reasonable target that Liverpool needs to go back at. And if they can address that defensive midfield issue, they have a good chance at it.
Where does McAllister play then?
He plays. He's more like a box to box, but he's more. I think he will be more like an attacking midfielder together with Dominic. So.
I don't know. Liverpool feels like a reset, right? And obviously reset. Yeah. Last year was a transitional period. This is the reset season. He's done it before. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp. He has to do it again. I feel, and I'm going to put my house on this right now, they will win a trophy this season.
Wow.
Liverpool,
Europa League, man.
Yes.
Europa League.
100%. This feels like Liverpool of 5 or 6 years ago. You need that first little trophy just to get the thing moving. Yeah. Man, you had it with the Carabao Cup and so on. I feel that the trophy that's going to kickstart their new era is the Europa League. It's just so obvious to me, Han Keong. It's in the finals in Dublin. Yeah. They've got a good enough squad to get to the latter stages of that tournament. It'll kickstart them. A great night in Europe with the Liverpool fans. Put it down right now. Liverpool will win the Europa League final in Dublin in May. I want this recorded and kept for posterity.
Okay.
That will kickstart it. All right, let's move on to the other mob. Right now, Manchester United. I need to address this right away. First thing, I said something last week, went viral, that they had the 3 best signings or the best transfer window to date. Second thing that went viral was I called the new striker Dutch when he's obviously Danish. All right, let's get it out there. We clarified it. He is Danish. But in all seriousness, I think they've signed well.
Yeah.
I think they're in a good position. It's going to be a good season for Man U.
I think so too. I think they've got a couple of good signings in there. You spoke about the striker Højlund, Rasmus Højlund, and then Onana. Although he got lobbed from
the halfway line.
It's pre-season,
happens.
it's pre-season anyway, right? So I think they've got a stronger squad than last season. Obviously, they've got a good striker, although young, a strong midfield as well. Again, I go back to the consistency part, and in Erik ten Hag, I think he's gone there. He's changed things. It's so obvious. It's so very obvious.
100%.
He's changed things in terms of the culture, in terms of the winning mentality, and if you've got a new captain as well in Bruno who
Fernandes,
I'm not a fan of. He whines all the time. It's the way he plays anyway, right? But I think they've got what it takes to finish in the top 3, definitely. And even win a trophy.
Yeah.
The league itself, it's gone again. They are in the category with Arsenal's and the Liverpool's. You need that consistency, a little bit of luck and things like that. But I think they've got a much stronger squad this season.
Yeah, it's amazing how a manager with a plan can do. It's like, I thought all managers should have plans, but anyway.
You think?
He's so blinkered.
Yeah.
What, you want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back, do you?
That's why I thought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a plan, but never mind.
He did have a plan to get fired.
Yeah, but I think there's another wild card in Manchester United, Mason Greenwood.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Do you think he will be reinstated into the team?
No, I prefer Mason Mount.
Mason Mount, yes, that's one.
Of the two Masons,
Yes.
he's the least controversial. That's a tough one because I know in the court of law he was found guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. I said, yes. Make that clear. Not guilty.
Okay.
Mason Greenwood in the court of law. But I don't know. When you throw the word rape around in any context,
and then
the allegation, even though he was found not guilty,
will be nasty to him.
it will stick. Yes.
Yes.
He'll be targeted everywhere.
Yeah.
He needs very broad shoulders to overcome that. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're the world's biggest club, and let's face it, man, you are. Sorry, Liverpool. Is that a PR risk that's worth taking? Because even if he was found not guilty, the allegations, what went on, the shenanigans, it
and
pulled
he hasn't
back
played for almost 2 years.
It pulled back a real curtain into what they get up to, which we can kind of guess anyway, but it was just spilled out. I don't think so. I can't see it. But on the positive side, I do agree with Shasi that the best thing about Man U for me this season, they're not a joke anymore.
No.
And that's a real psychological shift. The greatest asset now is they're not a basket case. As you said, serious manager, clear plan, serious defense. Martinez, fantastic. Casemiro in front of them. They've got serious. Yeah, exactly. Varane, fantastic. Serious defensive sort of versatility. It's almost annoying.
Maguire's going to West Ham.
Oh, don't start me off. Don't start me off. But they're still, but they've got Rashford. They're a serious team now. We haven't been able to say that for years. The only thing I'm disappointed about is where's the Weg? Where's the Weghorst? I'm so disappointed.
Burnley needs him.
And did you see he got booed? Yeah. He played in a pre-season friendly for Burnley. He got booed because they got relegated and he went to Man U on loan, so they're upset with him. So bring it back, Man U. If you bring it back, my hopes and dreams will be complete for Man U. All right, let's do the other two briefly. The other top 6, top 8 contenders, Spurs and Chelsea.
Yeah. 2
London sides. We had Tottenham in Singapore, played the Lion City Sailors. What do we think?
Well, looks like Harry Kane is still not going. So I don't know how long this transfer saga is going to drag out, but obviously if he stays, it's a plus for Spurs. If he leaves, Spurs are much more will struggle a bit more.
Yeah.
Chelsea also, I think Pochettino is a great signing as a manager. And he's sort of like cleared house a bit and then brought in some new faces, all untested. That's the problem. So we're not sure whether, with those unknown qualities, they can lift Chelsea all the way into top 4 or not.
Yeah.
But I think they should. I think that aiming for the Europa League qualifying places should be a basic for them. Should be a minimum for Chelsea and Spurs. And if anything clicks, I think they can at least fight for top 4. But I think they should fight for the 5th and 6th with Newcastle and Brighton or maybe Aston Villa, I think.
I think Spurs will drop off from the top 4. And anyway, they're not in the top 4 last season.
Yeah,
isn't
no,
it? Yeah. So they are where they are. They've got to solve the Kane issue. Sell him or something. Because
I'm with you. I'm with you.
They got to sell him.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I still think he's going to go.
Yeah,
I know
in the
Daniel
last
Levy.
year.
He'll just nudge it towards 90 million. He'll squeeze an extra 5 million or whatever it is, and then he'll go. It has to be done. This is Willie, won't he? This has gone,
just
like
sell
I said in the column, this has gone longer than Ross and Rachel in Friends. I mean, get it done. Just finish it.
Because I think he was promised last season or the year before. I can't remember. And then last minute they pulled the plug, and then it's not good for him as well. And Spurs is so erratic. I think that's the word for them. I saw a couple of their friendly games against West Ham as well, that friendly game. They conceded some ridiculous goals at the back. Defensively, they're all over the shop. They've got good attacking players. And the game where they had against LCS as well, they didn't look all right. Son was not his best. Kane, okay. But, they're just erratic. Richarlison came on, top scorer, but he's not going to do it in the EPL. I don't think so. He's not that kind of a player.
I agree.
He's a whiner as well. So Spurs are, they're not going anywhere.
They're an annoying team. And it's so hard for me because, I put on my West Ham hat. I want Spurs to lose every game. I put on my Singapore hat.
You have an Arsenal fan here
I put on
already,
my
come
Singapore hat. I want them to do well because of Ange Postecoglou. And I want to
that's true,
show
that's
that
true.
an AFC, an Oceania, an Asia Pacific, whatever you want to call it, coach can do well at an elite level. It's important for Shasi, the grassroots, and
I think
every
the
level
Kane
upwards.
issue is not helping
Not helping
his
him
case.
at all.
Yeah.
Not helping him at all.
Yeah.
So I want Ange Postecoglou to do well for Asian football, but I also want Tottenham to be relegated. So
Wow. They won't.
No, they won't.
But they've got some good players as well. Madison is one.
good signing.
Good signing. And they've got one more, Solomon, who plays out wide on the left-hand side. He's a good player. I saw him against West Ham as well. Great player. So, they've got good players. But, it's going to be a tough season for them this season.
Very quick word on Chelsea.
I think they were 10th or 9th last season. I think the most is 6th. I think.
Yeah, same thing. I think loads to do for Pochettino. I think great manager. Man manager.
Yeah,
he will shape them up nicely, very organized. But it's a long shot. Top 6 maybe.
Yeah, and for me, Chelsea, don't care. Right, okay, move on, wrap this up. Let's do a quick fire round. Try and do it all in 1 minute. We go along the line. We'll do Champions, top 4, European qualification, and relegation. Ready? English Premier League, quick fire. Champions.
Arsenal.
I also said Arsenal. Rice, baby. Top 4.
Wow.
Arsenal, Man United, Man City, Liverpool.
Arsenal, Man City, Man U, Liverpool.
Oh, same.
Mine are identical. Arsenal, Man City, Man U. Yeah, Liverpool, the same. European qualification.
Newcastle,
I forgot Newcastle.
Aston Villa, and Chelsea.
Newcastle, Villa, and Spurs.
I'll go with Newcastle, Villa. I think there'll be real dark horses.
Yep.
And the other one, don't really care.
Brighton.
You go with Brighton.
Brighton.
Relegation.
Luton, Sheffield United, and because I'm a Liverpool fan,
Wow.
Everton.
Luton, Sheffield. One more, I don't care as well.
Luton, I want them to stay up because of their cute little stadium, but they'll go down. Sheffield United will go down, and I hope Burnley go down because then Wout Weghorst can come back to Manchester United.
Oh, come on.
And that's a wrap for
3
that.
up, 3 down.
What do you think now? Who's going up? Who's going down? Who's going to win the title? Send all of your comments, predictions to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
All right, let's have a quick word on the Women's World Cup because I'm really liking it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Sure.
I watched the England game with my daughter. England were terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. Nigeria were wonderful. It was exciting stuff. I'm enjoying the World Cup. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and England are not alone and being terrible. Germany, US are already out.
Gone.
Brazil are out. Canada are out. It's like all the pre-tournament favorites are out. It's a very open World Cup, which means that standards around the globe, women's football standards, have already come up so that they are matching each other at the World Cup. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for women's football.
Yeah.
A ridiculous red card, by the way, like last night. James.
You think so?
Yeah, she stomped on the.
Oh, you mean because she should have got sent off? I agree, absolutely.
As in
Absolutely.
blatant
I
red
couldn't believe
card.
and
Yeah.
I suspect she'll get a further ban.
I think so,
for
but-
violent conduct.
Yeah, sorry. Just going back to the World Cup. Yeah, great tournament so far. The quality of the football, and Japan.
Yeah.
What
Yes,
a team!
Japan.
The way they've gone about doing their business, trashing Spain, whatever Spain put out the other day. The team that they put out, it doesn't matter. A great win for them, and I'm liking some of the teams as well. You talk about the Holland, the Netherlands. I got a soft spot for them. They've been excellent as well. Australia yesterday,
Without Sam
the
Kerr.
home team as well. They scraped through. I feel it's going to be a very good quarterfinals, and let's see how it goes out.
I think it's great. One of the big takeaways, and someone asked me this on Facebook today, the Women's World Cup use of the VAR explanations. It's real theatre.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
Wayanga. They come out and they stand tall. I have decided. And what I love about it, I mean, the serious point first, the stadium needs to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
It reminds all of us who the most important people in football are and always will be. And it's the fans inside the stadium. They're the people who need to know first. That's the number one thing. The second thing is, I said, the drama. The third thing, I like hearing them all in their own accents. It's fabulous.
Yes.
So I want to see it in the Singapore Premier League. And I want everyone to do it in Singlish.
That guy, so that guy must get yellow card.
That one, I cannot make it out. That's the way it's going to be. That to me has been the number one takeaway. I love the VAR explanations. I think it's been terrific.
Exactly.
Good out. And the last point I wanted to make, serious point, you both touched on it. Philippines, Japan, Nigeria. So what have you got? You've got Africa, you've got Jamaica, you've got Asia, you've got Southeast Asia, you've got the Americas. The talent pool is much closer in the women's game than the men's game. And it's just another reason why we here in Singapore should be pushing our women's game as much as possible.
That is absolutely right.
We've got a much greater chance with the women and the men of making the World Cup. Now, the last part of the show, the blockbuster that Yahoo released this week.
So, to commemorate the launch of the second season of Footballing Weekly, Yahoo Singapore has commissioned a survey with international survey firm YouGov to do a survey about the football scene in Singapore, some football habits, some football cultures of the Singaporeans in Singapore. So we surveyed about 2,000 respondents.
And a good sample.
That's a good sample. So we got the results. We came out got some interesting findings.
Do the serious one first. We'll save the fun one to the end.
Yeah. So, I think this is not I wouldn't say it's a big surprise, but 65% of those respondents do not support a local football club or the national team. So, I mean, if you see all our comments in our TikToks and our Facebooks, there's a trend. There's a lot of people who are very cynical about the local league and the local team. We are trying hard to change that, but it would definitely take time. And similar to this survey, 19% of the respondents, only 19% of the respondents agree that Goal 24, which is the Unleash the Raw project's target to qualify for the 2034 World Cup finals. I think they only 19% feel that it can be done. Right. So there's not a lot of confidence in Unleash the Raw project.
Okay, I'll go quick because I'm more interested in hearing Shashi's views on this one. The 65%, I think is way too low. When I saw the survey results, 65% of Singaporeans don't care or don't watch local football. I thought it was this thing that we call response bias, which means people lie. Are you going to vote Trump? No. And then you vote Trump. Yeah. Are you going to vote Brexit? No. And then you vote Brexit. Do you watch local football? Yeah, sure. I'm a true blue Singaporean. I think the figure is much higher. And what's interesting, you look at the responses, it's already going viral. And they're all saying the same.
90%. I thought it's 90%.
80, 90, whatever. Clearly, I think the figure is higher. But it's worrying. The second point about the 90% agreed that the goal 2034 can be met. I think that ties in with the first answer, which means if you asked football fans, real football fans, they'd say that number would be much lower. I actually think the number would be lower because they'd be more insightful about where the local game is. Whereas a random Hekela man on the street might go, 19%, okay. I think the average Singaporean football fan, hardcore football fan, I think that figure would be much lower. I think they would not see us having any chance. All right, let's go to Shasi. Now, for context, Shasi has played the game. He has coached the game. He currently teaches the game at ITE, and he commentates on the Singapore Premier League every week. No one is more qualified than this man. What did you make of it?
I absolutely agree with you. I think you spoke about fans being cynical about Singapore football, and I'll be very cynical. The 65% should be much higher, 80, 90, right? And that 19% that actually thinks that Singapore is going to reach the World Cup, I think is going to be much, much lower. 5%? I think, seriously, to reach the World Cup in 2034. So, I just want to touch about the culture. All right. And I think when Singaporeans say that we have a football culture, I think they're mistaken. It is an EPL culture. And I'll just give you an example, right? Firstly, what's a culture? A culture is ideas, a social behavior of a group of people. Now, I'll just give you an example. When I'm at home, I'm a dad, right? I get my, a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and I'm watching football at home. What do I watch? What do I watch? I'd probably be watching the EPL, supporting Arsenal or whatever. And these kids with me, they are going to follow me. They're going to watch the game. And that's the culture at home now, right? So that's how culture starts. People change culture. People start a culture. So that's how Singaporeans are brought up. So there is an EPL culture here in Singapore. There's no local football culture. Zero, right? You are only a local football fan if you are invested in the game. You are a player, under 17, under 15 player. You're a coach. Your dad is a coach in the EPL, the SPL and things like that. So the culture here is absolutely zero, I would say. Obviously there will be a group of people who are diehard supporters of Singapore football because, like I said, they're invested in the game, right? For me, my kids are probably a little bit lucky because when I sit home, and I'm not ashamed to say this, when I get back home on a Friday night, work late, I come back at 6+, I actually watch the Singapore League. And then when my son watches it, he watches the game. And then now on his own, he just on the TV and then he just watches Singapore football, on his own. So that it's a culture, isn't it? So sadly in Singapore, that is the problem. When people say, we have footballing culture, we don't have a local football culture. We have an EPL football culture. Just take, for example, when we go out and a group of players go out there and play futsal, for example, and there's loads of teams here in Singapore, social footballers, loads. But when they go out there, what do they talk about? I'm going to be the next Harry Kane. I'm going to score a goal like Harry Kane. I'm going to dribble like Foden. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. All EPL players. Nobody's going to say, I'm going to defend like Haris Harun. Nobody's going to say, I'm going out there, I'm going to score a goal like Jordan Emawiwe. No one, right? So I just like to get that out, because we don't have a culture here in Singapore.
I agree.
And I think the survey also probably agrees with you. We'll put that one in the next part of the podcast because I think we're running quite long.
I just want to say, I also want to play football like the Fandis, Wendy Jacobs. That's the only one I've got any chance of playing like. Okay, but what do you think? I thought that was great what Shasi said. What do you think? 65% do not support local football. Send all of your views to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
And before we go, a final offer just for you from StarHub.
Okay, if you are the Pioneer generation, you can get the Premier Plus package to see all the Premier League matches of next season at only half price. Usual price is $25.22. It's now for you $12.61.
You see, he keeps forgetting. I think Pioneer generation already.
I'm almost there.
All right, guys. As always, thanks for watching. We're nothing without you guys. We love the comments. Do keep them coming. Thank you very much, Shasi.
Sure. Great to be here.
Well, it's great sitting next to an Arsenal fan. No, it was. It was absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, fantastic.
And we'll see you all in part 2. Take care. See you soon.